Hello everyone and welcome back to Cooking is Bliss. So today I really wanted some spaghetti and meat sauce and that's exactly what I made. So I made my homemade meat sauce today, and for years I used to make my meat sauce, but here recently I've just been so busy I just found myself running into the store, grabbing a bottle of pasta sauce and calling it a day. But today I made some time to make my homemade meat sauce. So I pulled out my Dutch oven and I started off with some onions and garlic. That's one whole onion and about 4 to 5 cloves of garlic that I used with just a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of that pan. And I just got them sauteing. And while they were going, I pulled out all the tomatoes from my refrigerator and I chopped them up real small and I just threw them into my pot. And I just gave them a good stir. And then I seasoned these. I only use black pepper and salt for right now. And I gave them a good stir. And this was them after about just 15 minutes. And I had the stove on medium low. So I reduced it to low and I covered it. And while the tomatoes were cooking, I started my ground turkey. Yes, I use ground turkey. For those of you who like ground beef, you can go ahead and use ground beef, but I like ground turkey. So I got that all broken up and I let that brown on the pot. This is how it looked when it was done. And then I added some more onions and I got this seasoned up. I used salt. I used, I like Mrs. Dash. I used Mrs. Dash garlic blend. And I also used some paprika and just a little bit of chicken bouillon. And this is what it looked like when it was all done. And then I checked on my tomatoes and this is how they looked after just 1 hour. The plan was for it to go for 2 hours, but since it had already reduced, I decided to just go ahead and use it as is. So I just used my immersion blend. I gave it a couple stirs just to break up the bigger chunks of tomatoes that were left in there. And look at how smooth it looked. So I dropped my ground turkey in there, and then I realized I didn't have any fresh herbs. I really wanted some basil and cilantro. And my sweetest neighbor, Mrs. Martha, she has a little garden. So I ran next door and I was like, Miss Martha, can I have some basil and parsley and rosemary? And she was like, sure, have all you want. So that's what I came back with. And so I added them to the pot, gave it a good stir, and look at this. Look at it. It was so delicious. You can definitely add some sugar here just to even out the acidity from the tomatoes, but I enjoyed the flavor, so I didn't add any sugar to mine. So I hope you guys go ahead and give this recipe a try because this was absolutely amazing and it's so easy to make. So enjoy.